All right, good morning. September 28th, 2022. And today we have U.S. wholesale inventories month over month. Should be a market mover. U.S. advanced good trade balance could be a market mover. We have a slew of Fed speakers at 8:35. We had Bostic, Fed Bostic. We also have U.S. pending home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern. Pending homes. We have Bullard speaking. We have Powell speaking at 10:15, right before the market opens. 10:15. No, that'd be after market open. Sorry about that. We have crude inventories, and we have Bowman speaking. I mean, we have Evans speaking at 2. Yeah, a lot of speakers today. So should make things interesting today. Yesterday, this was our central pivot range for the most part, this green box here. And so yesterday, and it's important to know this, so we instill this in our brain so that we can just react. We don't have to think about things. So yesterday on the CPR, when we came in, we were above the CPR, right? So above the CPR. We were actually just getting above, I think when I made the video, we were just getting above the 50 moving average. Okay, and that's all fine, Jim Dandy. But what we did is when we opened, we made a move up, came down below the 50, which I thought, okay, I'm going to go short. We came down and we just about hit the pivot point on the central pivot range. Okay. And then what did we do? So what happens is usually when we're above the central pivot range, I'll just use this one because it's colorful. When we open up above the central pivot range, and then during cash hours, we come back and retest it, it's generally a long. Okay. And vice versa. When we're below the central pivot range, and during cash time we come up and we test the pivot and we reject off it, it'll be a short. Okay, so I know that yesterday, Gary in the room, hey, we hit that CPR, he went long. Took out 25-30% just like that, and because it retraced all the way back up to the 50. That was beautiful. It's just exactly the way you want to play it. So just keep that in mind. It's something to remember. Okay. We also hit this trend line, which also helped, right? We had this trend line from down here, and bam, we hit that. He saw that, okay, we got a support from a trend line. We're hitting the CPR, the pivot point. Oh, yeah, no brainer. It's a long. So great call, great play. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. So as I'm looking at this today, and I have our new targets and new CPR range and new resistance box, support box. I look at this and say, okay, how far down can we go, right? So, there's always that little simple little line you can do from the high there. Once we broke, and you do something like that, and you say, okay, where's our next one? Well, because what we did is this is just a big old, flag, bear flag, this right here. So we take it from the top of here to where we hit yesterday. And then I said, okay, so I bring this to the top of this point here and say, how far? Oh, to the bottom of my box. What do you know? Well, all I did this morning was extend this box out. And, it's pretty darn close, which is kind of the range I thought we could potentially get to. It really is that simple. Okay, so let me erase that. I'm good with the bottom of the box, and I'm also good with this target too, because the reality is, I always tell people I always leave chicken on the bone, because the difference between, for me on a future side, 76 and 82 is 6 points. It's $300. I don't care about that $300. If I grab the majority of this short, I'm good. I really am. I'm okay. Okay. So, any rate, just so you know, bam, we can get rid of that. I sometimes like to keep these lines up for a few days. I'll just leave them on just to reiterate for me to say, don't forget to draw your lines. Okay, so today we're below the CPR range. Okay, we're below the 50, and okay, well, I've got to be short. At least I've got to be thinking that. I can't go long unless we get close above an hour candle for me above this CPR, the pivot point. Just so you know, the bottom of this range is called the bottom central and the top central. There's TC on the top and BC on the bottom. A lot of times when you're below the PP, the pivot point, the BC will act as resistance. You can see we came up, hit it, retraced. Came up, hit it, retraced. Pierced it, retraced. Got close to it, retraced. So it really does hold as support. So as you can tell, we came down into this. This is what they call a bull zone. So support, I call it support. Okay, so that would be your support. And we just about hit target 1. Okay, beautiful. So I'm looking for something down here in the 35.80 range. Would be great this morning. And I have a target 2 of 35.82 and a target 3 of 35.68. So those are my downside targets. My upside targets, just to throw them out there, 37.19, target 1, target 2, 37.33, and target 3, 37.50. So again, I set this up. I say, okay, here's my pivot point at about 77, 78. And if we close above that, I'm going to be bullish up until this resistance, which doesn't give you much. And then looking for these targets to the upside. Now you notice I have a trend line here, a trend line here. So I got to be cognizant of that, right? Let me get rid of that. And let's look at the trend line. This trend line's been going on, or it's been set up for a while. And I got to believe we came down. There's the 1 touch, 2 touch. We haven't hit the bottom yet. So I got 1, 2. I'll have to check to see if we even hit that top. We might just be floating down inside there. Yeah, we should have hit it. That should have been set up for my trend line. Okay, so we have 1, 2. Now I'm looking for 3 down here at the bottom. So I'm pretty comfortable that we're going to probably hit the bottom of this. Now leg 4, I don't know where it's going to go, right? So wave 4, if we pierce this, then, would I look for a long? Yeah, I would look for a long, but we could just keep on going down. So you can see I've had a target in this area for quite a while. Okay, that's what I've got. Good luck today, and I'll see you in the Zoom room.